Call the meeting to order. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Seeing none, reading confirmation of the minutes, a resolution at the minutes of the Council Planning Committee meeting held on October 6, 2025 be approved. Moved by Councillor Wright Miller, second by Councillor Brown. All in favor? That's carried. I have some opening remarks. The public meeting is being heard by the Council Planning Committee and public notice has been given in accordance with the Planning Act. The citizen appointees are Mr. John Baltutis, Mr. Paul Jennings, Ms. Sarita Van Dyke, and Mr. Tyler Fenton. They may ask questions and participate in the discussion to assist in recommendations to City Council, but may not make motions or vote in connection with the public meeting. The right to appeal a planning decision is now restricted further. Appeals are limited to the applicant, the minister, approval authorities, public bodies, and specified persons who have made oral or written submissions prior to the adoption of an official plan amendment or zoning bylaw amendment. Specified individuals or specified persons are defined in the Planning Act and are made up of a limited list of entities, mainly consisting of impacted utility providers or telecommunication infrastructure providers. Therefore, it is crucial that those directly affected to make their submissions known during the public meeting. The Engineering and Development Services Department will consider comments received at this public meeting, as well as comments in analyzing the applications that are part of the public meeting tonight. For further information on how to provide comments to the city regarding an application from this public meeting, please email planning@belleville.ca. A recommendation report will be brought forward upon receipt of all agency and public comments in the future. Any persons wishing to be advised of the Council Planning Committee's recommendations regarding today's applications are requested to leave their name and address on the appropriate notification sheet on the clipboard beside the podium. Moving on to the public meetings portion, 5.1, Notice of Public Meeting Zoning Bylaw Amendment, Bylaw 2024-100, 78 Everett Street, Belleville. File number is PLZBA 2025-0265. If staff could please present the application.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. 78 Everett Street is located on the west of Everett Street, south of Henry Street, and east of Cedar Street. The main building on the property was initially developed as a place of worship in 1947. In recent years, it has been converted for residential purposes, which the zoning bylaw would consider a one-unit detached dwelling. To legalize this use, this zoning bylaw amendment proposes to rezone the property from community facility CF zone to residential type 2 R2 zone. As the subject property lacks off-street parking spaces, consent application PLCST 2025-0175 was granted provisional approval on August the 21st, 2025 to add the south portion of 82 Everett Street to the subject property. This lot addition would allow the subject property to have a driveway, which would be approximately 3 meters wide and 30 meters long. The subject property is designated residential land use under the official plan. At this time, staff have received no correspondence from the public regarding this application. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak to the application? All right, seeing none, I got a resolution that the zoning amendment application PLZBA 2025-0265 be referred to the regular Planning Advisory Committee for consideration. Moved by Councillor Wright Miller, second by Councillor Kelly. All in favor? That's carried. And a motion to adjourn the public meeting at 5:34 p.m. Moved by Councillor Brown, second by Councillor Sioux. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Moving on to the Planning Advisory Committee, disclosure of pecuniary interests and general nature thereof. Reading confirmation of the minutes, resolution of the minutes of the Planning Advisory Committee meeting held on October 6, 2025 be approved. Moved by Councillor Kelly, seconded by Ms. Van Dyke. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. So deputations, correspondence, resolution that the Planning Advisory Committee received the correspondence for information. Moved by Councillor Wright Miller, seconded by Mr. Fenton. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 6-point run referrals from the public meeting. Notice of complete application, introductory public meeting for proposed zoning bylaw amendment, bylaw 2024-100, 78 Everett Street, City of Belleville. Owner applicant is Randy Lee. File number is PLMNV 2025-0265. Resolution reads that report number APS 2025-41, dated November 3rd, 2025, regarding the notice of complete application and introductory public meeting for proposed zoning bylaw amendment, bylaw 2024-100, regarding 78 Everett Street, City of Belleville, be received as information, and that staff report back at such time as input from the public, commenting agencies, and municipal departments has been received, assessed, and addressed to the satisfaction of the Engineering and Development Services Department. Moved by Councillor Kelly, seconded by Mr. Fenton. Any questions or comments? Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Chair. My question to staff, the severed parcel that has been made by the Committee of Adjustment, the map seems to suggest that it's only 3 meters wide, which would suggest that it's a single driveway. And if you look at 30 meters, would suggest at best that you could get 5 cars in that particular driveway. My question is, when you actually look at the drawings on the facility itself, it has 10 bedrooms in it, and common kitchens and common living areas, which would suggest this would be more boarding house type format. Do we feel that 5 parking spaces probably at best, and I'm not measuring with a tape in my head, that 5 parking spaces are sufficient for a property that clearly designates 10 bedrooms in the facility?
Go ahead.
Okay, so the zoning bylaw requires that the minimum size of a parking space is 2.4 meters by 2.4 meters wide and 6 meters long, and the width is 3 meters, so it's wide enough. And tandem parking is permitted, and the dwelling is considered as a 1-unit detached dwelling. So the zoning bylaw would consider a minimum of 1 off-street parking space is required. So this driveway would meet the minimum requirement for a 1-unit detached dwelling. Do you have a follow-up question?
So a follow-up question would be, why is it being classified as a 1-unit dwelling when it is clearly something other than a single-family detached home?
Okay, staff?
Yeah, through the chair to Councillor Brown. Essentially, the zoning bylaw used to break down boarding houses separately from 1-unit detached dwellings, and as the bylaw was being revised and reviewed, barriers were removed where it was a situation where it could be seen as people zoning if you were treating a dwelling that had bedrooms and a kitchen differently depending on who was living there. So that regulation was removed. So practically, they are treated the same now under the zoning as far as the minimums go. You are right in noting, though, that there is space for more parking spaces in this widened driveway, and you know, we're hopeful that will address any issues going forward. But it is a challenge because they're all treated the same way under zoning.
Yeah, I understand the part about not people zoning, and that was why I was hesitant to use the term boarding house. But it's clearly not a single-family detached home, is my concern, with the number of bedrooms that are contained wherein, or it's a really big family going in. So I am concerned that we are, and understanding the parking dilemma that we have in many houses, where there are more vehicles than there are parking spots. I'm just concerned that we may be headed down that path in the urban area in a way that is very similar to what we're experiencing in another ward. So,
Any other questions or comments? See none, I got a resolution on the floor. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Moving on to report 7.1, staff recommendation report for proposed zoning bylaw amendment, bylaw 2024-100, 285 Maitland Drive, City of Belleville. Owner applicant is John Latchford, Carole Parks, Nancy Pound, and Mona Tummon Lyon. Agent is Keith Watson. File number is PLZBA 2025-0231. Resolution that the Planning Advisory Committee recommends the following to City Council. That application PLZBA 2025-0231 to amend the City of Belleville zoning bylaw number 2024-100 as amended for 285 Maitland Drive, City of Belleville, be approved as follows. That zoning bylaw number 2024-100 be amended as amended, be amended by rezoning the severed parcels identified in provisional consent approvals PLCST 2024-0320 and PLCST 2024-0321 from developmental control DC zone to service industrial IN2 zone. I got a mover, Mr. Jennings, seconded by Councillor Brown. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Moving on to information matters. 8.1, resolution of the official plan and zoning bylaw amendment monitoring report dated November 2025 be received. Moved by Mr. Fenton, seconded by Mr. Jennings. Any questions or comments on any of those items? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Any general business? Seeing none, motion to adjourn. A resolution of the meeting be adjourned at 5:41 p.m. Moved by Councillor Wright Miller, seconded by Mr. Fenton. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you.